Okay, let's
Are you 100% sure that that tag is not real?
look at this thing. Does anyone know what this thing does? It's supposed to be some artifact from the previous human civilization in the 21st century. Oh, I think we are screwed.
Check your panties. About 175,000 panties.
Hey, Wells, DeeKnow, here we are with another video. Let's go!
Ayo, what's good? It's DeeKnow, and we're back again with another video full of crazy clips from all over the internet. I hope everybody's doing good today. Let's hop right into it. Wow. Right in front of you, huh? I'd just go back in the house.
Earth is at the center.
Is the universe spinning around us, or are we spinning around the universe? They tell you, we don't know shit. We're looking at a bunch of lights in the goddamn sky. You're gonna tell me that that light and that light, that's 250, 100 trillion light years away? How the fuck did you figure that out? And you learn.
Well, don't they have an explanation for that shit?
No, exactly. That's what what you just said right now. What you just said now is what everyone's natural reaction. Because anytime someone says anything about space, you automatically think someone figured it out. You don't know the guy's name. You don't know the name of the experiment. You didn't look into it yourself. You just think when someone tells you, how far is the Earth from the sun? They'll say, 93 million miles away. Like you just, everybody relies on someone figured that out and someone double checked it. You're going on what you read. And right now, Cosmology, they don't know what the fuck to do. You know what they found out? The cosmic microwave background shows that all the galaxies are on shelves lined up to us. That we're at the fucking center. They don't know what to think about it. There's a lot of controversy going on about it.
Oh yeah, we're the center of the universe? Is that what he's saying? What do y'all think? Do y'all think we're the center of the universe and everything surrounds us and revolves around us?
That's crazy. Good eye.
No shit.
What the fuck?
What the hell?
Those were pretty cool looking. I mean, it could have been drones. Don't know how high up they were. Didn't really have long enough to observe them. But that was pretty cool looking. Get out of here.
Well, I think we have some special guests. Hey guys, they're powered by Jetsons, little Jetson robotics computers inside. They learn to walk in Isaac Sim. Ladies and gentlemen, this is orange, and this is the famous green. They are the BDX robots of Disney. Amazing Disney research. Come on, you guys, let's wrap up. No, it's not time to eat. It's not time to eat. I'll give you a snack in a moment. Let me finish up real quick. Good job.
Yeah, I don't care what anybody says. That's awesome. that's actually awesome. Ooh-wee.
Look at what I got!
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, that's Boston Dynamics for you. One of the leading robotics in the world.
2016, while at a party with my wife, I was sexually assaulted by a successful Hollywood agent. The assault lasted only minutes, but what he was effectively telling me while he held my genitals in his hand was that he held the power, that he was in control.
But has there been retaliation against you for what you are saying now to the public?
Thank you for your question, Senator. One specific incident of retaliation was I've done 3 movies called The Expendables with Sylvester Stallone. The producer of that film called my manager and asked him to drop my case in order for me to be in the 4th installment of the movie.
Rodney Hinton, y'all wasting y'all time. I'm telling you, this man literally ran over a police sheriff's deputy after he was accused of unaliving his son the day before in a routine traffic stop. Yes, everybody's in on it. Everybody wants to know what happened. But this man had to go into trial with 30 deputies trying to stare him down and intimidate him.
Yeah, and the one that he ran over wasn't even the one that... I'm just saying, it doesn't look good all the way around. There's not really much that can be said about that case.
Of the criminal trial against Sean Combs, we are set to hear more testimony from Mia, Combs' longtime personal assistant, who testified that she was assaulted and also raped by Combs at his home in Los Angeles. This is the 4th week of testimony. Once we hear from Mia, we're also going to be hearing from a security guard and a custodian from the Intercontinental Hotel. That's the hotel where Combs was caught on camera kicking and assaulting Miss Ventura in 2016. And we are also supposed to hear from host Enrique Santos. That's a radio host for iHeart Radio.
It's pretty wild. There's a whole lot going on with this Diddy trial. Whole bunch of people coming out and saying stuff.
We think that a lot of the jobs that you might want a humanoid to actually do are the kind of jobs where it's basically backbreaking labor for a person to do. These are really challenging, ergonomically unfit tasks that we ask people to do or need people to do right now. We think that robots will be much better suited for those.
Yeah, we think that robots would be much better suited for those. Talking about, okay, you're gonna replace all of the manual labor that nobody wants to do, basically, with robots that you don't have to pay. You just charge them so that you can pay your other jobs even less. And you're going to use the excuse that it will open up more jobs in new departments and give higher pay to the existing jobs, which probably won't happen. So here we are. We're looking at our replacements, boys.
Oh my God! Did you see that?
I like watching storms happen, and I like watching the stuff that nature does, but you know, it's unfortunate when it affects people's property and, you know, businesses and things like that. I mean, we can't control it all, right?
We have all of these new Vikings here. Would you like to demonstrate your pouncing? Here we go, here we go. Yay! All right, wave goodbye to everyone. Bye! Here we go. Bye, everybody.
I love him.
So that's one of those Spot Dog Boston Dynamics robots, and they just dressed it up like a dragon.
The 165 billion we gave to Ukraine, we could have built 6 border walls to stop illegal immigrants from pouring across our southern border. Could have fixed Flint's water system 215 times over. Easily. I like this one. Could have given every homeless vet $2 million.
Holy shit.
Could have given $50 million to every family impacted by the Maui wildfires.
They got $700 each. They think it would take $20 billion to end homelessness in America. $20 billion. We've sent 100 and how much?
165 billion.
So we could have ended homelessness 8 times over in America. It's outrageous.
Yeah, it is pretty outrageous. It really, really is.
The moon being eclipsed by something the 2nd of May 2025.
Lunar eclipse.
No, that's not what a lunar eclipse looks like. Oh, what the fuck is what's in front of it now?
No, it's got 2 dots on it now.
It's got... What the fuck is going on?
It's starting to cover it.
What is that?
Yeah, it's getting fully covered almost.
What the fuck? There's not a cloud in the sky.
I'm so confused.
I can't explain. I've never seen anything like this.
It's at the top now.
Yep.
We're getting there.
And now whatever the fuck, it's gone. It's just a little star there now. Now it's gone. Ain't shit.
I remember where it was, so I'm gonna just stay focused on that spot until I see it again. Because I can still kinda...
Well, right around that spot, if you look on the camera, there's like a little halo type situation going on. I have no idea.
That's pretty wild if it really happened at that time. It's pretty cool looking. Couldn't tell you what it was. I guess they're saying like, oh, another planet went in between it. A lot of people talking about like the sun is Red Kachina or Nibiru all over TikTok. You should just go look. It's kind of funny.
Power outage in the United States. From New York City to Los Angeles, lights vanish, grids collapse, and 328 million people go dark. And a guy somewhere in Africa under the tree laughing at us thinking how dependent we are on power. Anyways, hospitals in Chicago lose life support. Surgeries freeze mid-cut, thousands at risk. In Houston, oil refineries stop, 43% of national fuel supply halted. Atlanta's airports, including Hartsfield-Jackson, shut down, no flights, no radar, just chaos. Silicon Valley servers powering Apple, Google, and more. Off $2 billion in losses every 60 seconds. In Florida, without AC, millions sweat under 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Heat stroke surges. No water pumps in Phoenix. Toilets won't flush. Taps go dry. Banks in Wall Street shut. $20 trillion frozen. Economy on life support. Your phone dead. No charging, no internet, no Netflix, no Uber, no Venmo, no GPS. Electric cars stop. Traffic lights fail. 911 calls drop. U.S. loses $200 billion in 24 hours, and that's just day one.
Not when I got solar panels and rechargeables and banks and battery banks and stuff like that. Not when I've got all the stuff I need to keep power for the things that I would use. And yes, electronics would be very useful in an apocalyptic situation. They could be used for all sorts of purposes. Trust me on that. Just trust me on that.
And we saw them like freaking appearing.
They were all the way down there now. Wait.
They were like materializing outward. You can kind of see it too.
Yes.
You can kind of see it too. They kind of like dematerialize. What the?
Wait, what is that? Wait, now they're gone. Wait, I see one.
Go higher and higher up into space.
Wait, what?
Pretending to have been drones.
Wait, it's like on Earth.
What the fuck? Now that's fucking
Where are they? Okay, there they are.
Now that's weird.
That's not drones, baby.
They were totally like treetop level not that long ago, and now they just keep going higher and higher up into space. That, like, now they're pretending to be drones.
What the fuck?
Look how much atmospheric perspective there is, like, looking that high up, like, you can't really see anymore.
They're,
then, like,
yeah.
That's like mountain level. They're like drones or something. I think they're like, because they're shaped almost like planes, but there's no way they're planes. They don't have tails. They don't have noses. And they're way too agile to be planes.
Why are you getting the other ones? Wait, I can't see them anymore. Oh, there they are.
Yeah, when the other ones show up again, I'll show those to you. Who knows, maybe it's...
They don't look like drones, baby. They're moving pretty organically. It's weird to say that.
Yeah, like...
What the hell?
They're not flapping their wings. And then there's another batch.
And what would the drones be like? Why would they be doing so many drones right now? Wait. There's no purpose.
It's like a drone swarm.
I don't think it's drones, baby.
You can kind of hear them.
No, you can't.
It's a lot, dude.
Yeah, I don't think those are drones.
They look like airplane-shaped drones. Look, you can see it, right? They have wings.
Alright, guys. I 100%, about 30 seconds ago, saw 2 different ones, wings flap. Those are birds. They're actually birds. Birds do that. People just haven't started paying attention to the sky until recently.
America is going to be the poorest country in the world starting now. You're going to see the biggest crashes happening right now. So that's good for me because the price of gold and silver go up. So this time I went to the slums of Mumbai. But what shocks most people is America never had slums like that. Today, slums are everywhere across America. The slums of Mumbai are spreading across America. So the big shift is Russia, China versus America, Europe. The Chinese are threatening to shift the yuan to gold. And if they do that, US dollar collapses. If that happens, America. So that's why I've been saying it's commodity, silver and gold. So when the dollar crashes, I get richer.
When the dollar crashes, they'll get richer. That's true. And like, look how expensive that everything is at the store now. Just everything.
Love it. To have Linda this morning finally say that there are live ETs on Earth at this present time, and at least 2 of them probably working with the United States government. An investigation was launched into this whole subject, and the document was prepared, which concluded that at least 4 species had been visiting Earth for thousands of years. And this is my own view at this stage as well. The survival plan for the human species as an aide-memoire, and I named 5 different species here. I'm aware of more now. As a matter of fact, I saw a document just a few days ago that mentioned 20. And I think you, Mr. Chairman, were interested in some of the places they might come from. And I have in here Zeta Reticuli, R-E-T-I-C-U-L-I, Reticuli, the Pleiades, Orion, Andromeda, and the Altair star systems. So I don't think we can any more refer to them as they, because they're not an amorphous mass. They are different species and consequently may have different agendas. I don't think we can say that they all have the same agenda any more than we could say that the United States, China, and Russia have the same agenda. Our real interests may be very similar, but as of now, our perceived interests are still quite far apart. The other species that I learned about not too long ago was called the tall whites. And this is when Paula Harris broke the story just a few years ago. And through her good offices, I had the chance to talk for about 3 hours with former Airman Charles Hall and listen to this absolutely fascinating story of how he was working. First of all, he was scared out of his skin. But after that, when he got to know them, how he was working with, and finally they became to trust each other and have a good working relationship with the tall whites at the gunnery range at Indian Springs in Nevada. And these tall whites were living on United States Air Force property and working in cooperation with the United States Air Force and sharing technology.
Isn't that some wild stuff? He's basically talking about Area 51 and all that stuff down there, and talking about how they're working together on weapons and...
Find out what happens if I rev it up really high. That sounded bad. Oh yeah, definitely bad. Is this bad? It still seems like it's running fine. I mean, there's a piston rod. There's a piston. He's still running. Nothing wrong. Totally fine. Take a look at the observation. Oh yeah.
Why? Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you at least try to save it, man? Come on. That's wild looking. I can't tell if that's AI or not, but that's crazy looking. Something shot down something for sure.
I was on my way home until I saw this WTF. I swear I'm not tripping.
Oh my god! What is that?
I don't know. What is that? Is it something driving around in the woods? Like, you got me. What is it?
Still haven't convinced you that Antarctica isn't a continent, but an ice wall that surrounds our level, flat realm? Well, stick around. We're going to get into it a little more, and hey, that's a funny name for an island.
Yeah.
Let's start by looking at this little known fact. Do you know that Antarctica is the highest continent on Earth? The average elevation is 8,200 feet? That's pretty interesting. Not only is it the highest, but it's the highest by a landslide by over 1,000 feet. Now, why would that be? Could it be that you're living on something like this, where water lays level like it always does, and it's surrounded by a container known as Antarctica? You need to ask yourself, have you been programmed to believe something that isn't true? Because we always see that water lays level. It never looks like this, no matter how far you can see straight out or left or right. Water is always level. And did you know in 1946, the United States government sent a fleet of Navy ships down to the Antarctic ice wall and not continent in a little operation called Operation High Jump? That's a curious name for a continent.
Who blazed the way for Operation High Jump, the great expedition of 1946-47. Admiral Byrd was officer in charge of the project. The rest of the Argosy pushed on, right up to the ice barrier of the Ross Sea. Up to the ice barrier of the Ross Sea shelf.
You see, they say that operation was about potentially seeking out and destroying a German base down there. But what I believe it was is exploration past the ice wall and seeing what was beyond, because we didn't know at that point. And what I think happened is they found the firmament. They found the barrier keeping us all here in this realm. Because the stories that came back after Operation High Jump were highly suspicious. They talked about seeing alien crafts and things like that, even to the point where Admiral Byrd put out a statement saying that he was worried that attacks in the future could be coming from the air, not the sea. You see, I don't think this Operation High Jump was about anything but testing the limits of where we live. Just like the Tower of Babel in the days of old when they were trying to reach the heavens, I think they were experimenting to see if there's a way out of this realm we live in, just like SpaceX and NASA are doing when they're sending things up to test the firmament. They're not going to space because space isn't what you think. You've been programmed to think that we live in this realm with infinite space, and you're programmed so deeply that you believe water can curve over a ball and that we're moving 1,000 miles per hour. It's not true. We live in a level, flat realm, where Antarctica isn't a continent, but an ice wall that surrounds you. And if you like this content, or things like it, and you're interested in some gear, check out my store, fittestflatearther.com. And as always, this information was just for entertainment purposes, not even serious.
He said fittestflatearther.com. That's where you can buy flat earther apparel if you're into that. That's a crazy thought, to think that Antarctica is actually this big ice wall, but that it's also 8,000 feet up around the whole thing. And it just keeps us inside like a little puddle with a whole bunch of islands. We find out, and then what? We find out we're like a terrarium for some big overlords, and then what? Then they get mad at us because we got out, right? So like, what are we trying to accomplish here?
People should be scared of this because we're so close to having our own Terminators here on Earth, thanks to China. China created the first marathon where you have humans competing with robots. And yeah, it may seem like it's nothing, but this will lead into actually autonomous robots in the future. And people are gonna say, oh, look at that little robot, it looks harmless, it can't do nothing. But just think about it being as a robot from the movie iRobot, which is really close to happening pretty soon. And just think about this, if they are able to create iRobots and then robots start multiplying by themselves, then you can just give the whole world to the robots because they ain't no coming back from that. Because then this will lead into Terminators and Skynet. And at that point, ain't no chance for human beings. But let me know what you think.
You know what I think? I think it doesn't matter how much we tell people and let people know that Skynet is AI and things like Boston Dynamics and these Chinese robot companies all put together. And that no matter how much you tell these people everywhere around the world, that there's still going to be a lot of people in power that have money that are going to still make it happen. We can't do anything about it anyways. So no matter how much you tell people, all we can do is just make everybody dislike it. And then even though we dislike it, they'll still create it. And it's inevitable. It's too late now, basically.
Hey man, we don't live that long now. Yeah, you do. It's people on Earth right now, 300, 400 years old. That a lot of people don't know. Right? People live that long. They just don't pay attention to the world. The only way you can live that long when you disregard yourself from the world, all the food is poison. Right? So the food is poison, everything around the phone, the rubber on your shoes, everything is to drain your energy. Everything you look at is to drain your energy. They put the pyramids under the ground so they can drain your energy. They turn the pyramids off so they can drain your energy. Everything around is to drain your energy game. So you can't live to be 900. But I heard you mention the food. The main cause of black disease is kind of like what? What's the main cause of black disease and death is? The number one cause of that is heart attack, right? All of them are caused by one source. All of them are caused by gluten. Gluten is the number one cause for every disease in the black community. Gluten. And they put it in all our food. It's wheat, gang. Everything you love. All the flour in the chicken, the fried chicken, all the bread, all the government bread they gave you. Everything they gave you. Remember that thick-ass government bread they used to give you back in the days? Thicker than everywhere else. You get it, the real thick kind. That was to kind of get you addicted. And then the more you got addicted, they made the slices thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner because now you was already addicted. That's why I'm try to get off gluten. When you get off gluten, your body will go to like a relapse, and it'd be like a withdrawal, and it'd be like getting off heroin, but worse. Just try it. Try getting off gluten.
That man is crazy.
That says ICE cannot deport U.S. citizens is batshit crazy. This should not even be a discussion. It is not even a question. U.S. citizens cannot be deported by ICE. It's the law, it's the Constitution. I will be astounded if Republicans vote no on this.
A few moments later.
Stunned that I have to tell you this. Republicans just voted, every single one of them, to allow Donald Trump to deport U.S. citizens.
They just voted to give Trump the ability, legally, to give him the ability to deport U.S. citizens. That is what they voted for. A bunch of elected U.S. representatives. That is how they voted. Am I telling a lie, Eric, or no?
No, I got my... This is always where it was going to go, but that's a dictatorship. That's a dictatorship. It's a fucking dictatorship when you allow a president to deport your own constituents.
Was born in the late 1900s.
I'm gonna be a mighty king.
And grew up watching this iconic movie. Well, buckle up, because I'm about to ruin your childhood.
Things happen, and you can't do anything about it.
Okay, we all know that The Lion King took place in Africa. And before we begin, I asked Grok, what is the most influential language that influenced the movie Lion King? And as you can see, it's Swahili. Potentially Zulu as well. Okay, so let's go back in time. Simba just lost his dad and ran into the desert.
Right? Wrong. When the world turns its back on you, you turn your back on the world.
He runs across these two creatures, Timon and Pumbaa. Don't act like you don't know who they are.
Well, that's not what I was taught.
Then maybe you need a new lesson. Repeat after me. Hakuna Matata.
This is where it gets crazy, because everyone on the planet probably knows this song. Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata. It means no worries.
Right. They told us that it means no worries. But what if I told you that's not what it means? You can check this out for yourself with Google Translate. Here, check this out. All right, so I put Kuna Matata in the translator. It says, there are no fathers. Well, let's try it with Hakuna with the H at the beginning. Hakuna Matata. There is no father. Why did they say that it means no worries? Which is actually kind of ironic because this scene is right after he lost his father. Potentially Timon and Pumbaa are fatherless as well. Why is it that they changed that? Were they subconsciously trying to talk about being fatherless and just not to worry about it? We now know that families that grow up without a dad struggle severely. Just an interesting fact that I learned today from a friend. Comment your thoughts.
Families should not grow up split without a father or without a mother. They should have both of them.
1974, for instance, researcher G.F. Shapatis said in one of his research proposals that, quote, in this investigation, it will be shown that the spoken words of the hypnotist may also be converted by electronic energy directly into the subconscious part of the human brain, without employing any mechanical device for receiving, transcoding, or understanding the message, and without the person exposed to such influence having a chance to control the information input consciously. It may be expected that rationalized behavior will be considered to have been taken out of their own free will, end quote. So apparently this researcher said that they'll be able to beam these things into people's heads, then people won't even know where it's coming from. And it's not going to be, and it will be separated from their own free will.
All right, everybody, do me a favor. Go to Google, type in Eric Hecker, V2K, and just go watch his interviews in their entirety.
Do y'all see this? And y'all thought I was crazy. Look, Dad.
That thing looks wild. It looks like the little alien from that movie Evolution that was in that lady's closet and like bit her finger off and then deflated itself.
Combat veteran just got deported and the country said, we don't want him. Jose Barco came to the U.S. when he was 4 years old. He fought in Iraq twice and even earned a Purple Heart. And then the system failed him. After struggling with terrible PTSD and TBI, traumatic brain injury, he got into a shooting incident and went to prison.
Yeah, but that shooting incident where he went to prison, did you see it? I mean, it looked pretty ruthless, man. I mean, maybe he was severely triggered and his PTSD was severely triggered and that's what happened. But still, that was, I don't know, man. He kind of, maybe, I don't know, at best, maybe keep him in a mental home.
Bush administration official has come forward with a claim that's difficult to ignore. According to the New York Post, Catherine Austin Fitts says the U.S. government has secretly constructed a $21 trillion underground city. She alleges that this was funded through nearly 2 decades of unaccounted-for federal spending, money that vanished from the ledgers of the Department of Defense and the Department of Housing and Urban Development between 1998 and 2015. Fitts describes a network of over 170 underground and underwater facilities, not shelters, cities, built to house the powerful in the event of a near-extinction event. She says they're connected by high-speed transit systems, hidden beneath the surface of the United States, powered by advanced energy technologies the public has never been allowed to see. No vote, no announcement, no media coverage, just decades of quiet construction, shielded from public knowledge. If what she's saying is true, then these places already exist. The entrances are in place, the infrastructure is operational, and they aren't meant for everyone. The public was never informed. No explanation has been given. No officials have stepped forward to confirm or deny any part of it. So we have to ask the obvious questions. What do they know? What are they hiding? And what happens to the rest of us when the doors close?
All right, well, when we all get down to that city down there, that big $21 trillion underground city, when I get over there, I'll post some updates and I'll put some YouTube videos up from in there too, and we'll just do our series from in the underground city from now on. They gotta be running from something, right? Like, it seems something like Fallout. I don't know, it's just so unbelievable.
G-O-D, an English word that is not somebody's name, but somebody's nature. G-O-D, generator, operator, destroyer, is the codex inscriptus of these three letters. Abbreviations. The brain is the generator of electricity and power. The soul is the operator of self that navigates, propels you through your life on this plane and the next. The destroyer factor is found in the sacral vertebrae, where the upcoming Kundalini, Sanskrit term for cosmic fire, and the coils that hook you up. It allows you to obtain everlasting life. That's what you're trying to do, is acquire those three states of consciousness. Not go to heaven, not just get baptized, not just get a white robe. You're trying to raise up something in self that makes you everlasting, that you grow into the Son of God, S-O-N and S-U-N.
What a great way to put it.
Pretty much know what's above ground at Alcatraz Island.
But now a new study finds there are hidden buildings and tunnels underneath the prison yard. Historians long suspected that when Alcatraz prison was built in the early 20th century, it was constructed over a Civil War era military fortification. But instead of digging and disturbing the land to confirm this theory, archaeologists used radars and laser scans along with historical maps and pictures. They found fully buried structures, underground ammunition magazines, and tunnels. Archaeologists are now planning more studies.
Hopefully.
Oh yeah, more studies at Alcatraz, huh? Secret underground military bases at Alcatraz, huh? How much deeper does it go?
Did you know that everything they told you was wrong? They told you the body need food 3 times a day. Did you know that that ain't what it needs? They're gonna make it too heavy to carry. And they're gonna make you sick. They're gonna put a parasite in your body. Do you know when you're hungry, you go growling, it's a parasite? Your stomach not growling because it's hungry. It wants more of that poison. Yeah, food was the first one.
What do you say about like tragedies that happen? Like say,
don't fuck about no tragedy. Gotta balance. If it didn't have tragedies, then you wouldn't know what good is. We gotta balance. We give a fuck.
What is that? Why is there skin on the tree? Is it like spider webs or something? That's gross.
Around the earth, different colored rings around the earth. And this thing pointed out each one of these was thought prisons, were a thought prison. And there was a thing, it looked like a gargoyle, but it was as big as this room and had black wings like bat wings. picked me up like this, pulled me back away from the earth like that. So I saw the earth. There were rings around the earth, different colored rings around the earth. This thing pointed out each one of these was thought prisons, were a thought prison. He said, it doesn't matter which one of the people on this planet get caught up. It doesn't matter which thought prison they get caught up in, whether it's Scientology, whether it's Christianity, whether it's atheism, it doesn't make any difference. As long as you are magnetically drawn to one of them, we have you. And he explained how all the thought prisons were layered around the planet. And he explained how they were made.
How were they made?
They were made with the will of the creator beings that want to keep this place together.
So that is the will of the Archon, or what was her name? Or does it make any difference if there's a name?
The ones who I was talking to were connected to the Alpha Draconis star system. And I do believe that the Aldebaran group and that the Alpha Draconis group are at war. It's been an ongoing war for eons and eons and eons. The Aldebaran group, which is the bullseye in the Taurus constellation, where you see the left red eye, that's why you have this symbol all the time. It's an acknowledgement to the Aldebaran people. It's called the Royal Star. All of the British royal family are directly connected to the Aldebaran group.
I don't know anything about that, but that is a lot of cool stuff to go look into. I know about the Draconians and the Syrians and the Gladians, and I know about all of that stuff, but not what he's talking about. So I guess I should go look into it a little more.
Which is of seeing someone, apparently human, who changed into a reptilian figure in front of their eyes and then went back again. And I was turning as I was speaking. And as I turned, all I could hear was, and I turned around and she's holding her chest. She said, my God, I wasn't going to tell you about that. She said, I thought even you would think I'm crazy. And she tells me the story. She said, what happened was she went out one night and she said, I walking through the forest and she saw a light. She said, so I walked through the trees quietly and I looked through where the light was. She said, and there was this ring of people wearing robes. She said, and the person conducting the conducting the ritual in his robe was Ted Heath. She said, and standing next to him was a guy called Anthony Barber, who was Heath's the Chancellor of the Exchequer. He was Prime Minister at the time this was happening. She had this experience. And she said, I'm looking. I said, I was shocked, obviously, but I'm looking. And she said, suddenly, Heath shifted into a reptilian form and grew about 2 feet. Now,
Malarkey, I think it's a made-up story.
Appropriating a space for your own personality.
I'm a journalist.
You're not a journalist.
How do you decide who's a journalist?
I mean, considering I was fired as a journalist, you're no journalist.
Literally, would you rather be at your sick your whole life?
You're not doing this for like what the actual conversation is, which is getting rid of this country.
Getting rid of this country?
Getting rid of America, getting rid of the West. This is what this is for.
You want to get rid of America?
Yes! Everyone here understands that at some level we need to get rid of America completely.
What should we do?
Decolonization, land back.
Where should we go, though?
In our communities. We need to go leave the capitals, leave the central capitals of commerce, of capital itself.
So you don't mean destroy America, you mean remove all of the government and stuff.
I'm scared of the power.
Don't be scared. Here you go. That's it. 4 minutes of this. The birds are freaking out. My rooster's freaking out. It's a sunset. 365 degree sunset all the way around my house.
Yeah, that's super duper cool. It's like a solar eclipse.
No, did you guys see this? Yeah, apparently the planet is spinning way too fast. I mean, how are we supposed to do? Oh, wait, no, now it's been slowing for 50 years. Well, how are we supposed to get the planet to spin correctly? Do we just pay more in taxes? Because that's how we fix climate change, right?
I am reclaiming my time. Give me my time back. I'm reclaiming my time. I just want a simple yes or no. Do you support an exemption to tariffs on items that parents need to care for their kids? Because you all claim you're pro-family. I cannot hear the words you say because I see the things that you do every day. So clear it up. Yes or no? Do you support an exemption to tariffs on items that parents need to care for their babies?
It is under consideration.
Great. Good. I don't know what's stopping an exemption from going into effect today, so do it now. Mr. Secretary, do you know what a car seat is?
I have 2 children, yes.
I figured as much. It's correct, you and your husband have 2 children. So I'm sure you know that car seats are absolutely essential for families when traveling with babies and toddlers to school, to worship, to doctor's appointments, just everyday living. But not only are car seats essential, they are the law of the land. It's the law of the land in 50 states. So there's no getting around that. But now that cost is going up because Trump has announced up to 145% tariffs on Chinese imported products. Approximately 9 out of every 10 car seats in the U.S. come from China. That's a steep cost. Steep cost hike for families all over the country. The price is up in Republican districts and in Democratic districts. And it's not just the car seats that are impacted. We're talking about strollers, cribs, high chairs. There needs to be an exemption to help America's families. Trump has used his power for tariff exemptions on thermoplastics, semiconductors, but what about baby products? In Donald Trump's America's price is not, yesterday's price is not today's price. Costs are going up. Everyone is suffering, especially our families with young children. Mr. Secretary, I'm making an appeal to you on behalf of the people of this country. Please tell occupant Trump to reverse course and stop hurting America's families.
Please make things for children a lot cheaper. Please. Please. It'll help us all. It really would. It'll help us all. Anyways, that's all we got for today, everybody. It's kind of a long episode, so there's a lot of clips that we went through. Some of them were pretty cool, some of them were okay, some of them were a little boring, some of them were a little interesting to look at, like what didn't know what we were seeing. But, you know, is what it is. Hope you all had a good time hanging out. I know I had a pretty good time hanging out. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, afternoon, evening, whatever it might be for you. And before you go ahead and hit that like and hit that subscribe button for me. It'll really help us out. Leave some comments. Let us know what kind of things you want to see on the channel. And until next time, peace.